what your limitations are, and then go ahead and really let people know, and then never have to repeat it again. So let me give you an example. So Saturday, brother and sister-in-law was having a little retirement party at our house. You get one good party out of me a year, and that is it, because I don't do a lot of entertaining. It's not my jam. And I'm very good until I'm just done. And when I'm done, I am done. So had a great party. It was great. It was lovely. It was amazing. Had so much fun, had some drinks, swam, did all that stuff. Came inside. They brought the party inside because it got dark. And when I'm done, I'm done. And I become a ghost. I just go upstairs. I don't say bye to anybody. I don't say goodnight to anybody. And I've been like that all my life. And I'm not apologetic to it. And my family, which is actually my husband's family, but they know that about me. So no one's judging me. No one's going, oh my God, that's rude. Like, where'd she go? She just disappeared. She just went upstairs. Yeah, I did. I'm not going to apologize to you, because if I'm done, if I know my energy levels are on depletion, I'm not going to force myself to feel some kind of way to say bye, 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 bye. Thanks for coming. I'm not doing that. I'm doing none of that, but I'm okay with that. And you have to know what your limitations are. So if you know going to a function or wherever, I mean, never avoid it out of the sense of not feeling comfortable. Don't avoid things, because triggers are great things, because that lets you know where you still need to work. But if you're out, like, that's why a lot of times you create a lot of this stress kind of on yourself, because you don't want to be different. And let me explain what I mean. Let's say you and some friends are going to go to the bar. You're going to have some dinner. You're going to have drinks. It's going to be a nice night. Okay. And you ride with them. Now you ride with them, but you know who you're riding with. They're going to go hard. They're going to go to like 2:00 in the morning. Now, you know that you're riding with the person who's going till 2:00 in the morning. 11:30, 12:00, you start going, God, this sucks. I'm ready to go home. So ready to go home. Now you become Debbie Downer. Now you become Debbie Downer. You're in a part where you're not saying anything, but your energy is. Your energy is just heavy, and you're just kind of bringing the room down. You're annoyed. They're annoyed. Everybody's annoyed. How do you alleviate that? Drive separately. Don't start your fear of missing out. Don't start your FOMO here and be like, yeah, but like everybody is riding together. Now, it's different if you're going somewhere on a trip and you're going to have a hotel room that you can just escape to and all of those things. Fine. But most people know I'm going to drive. Now, you can ride with me. That's fine. But know what you're in for. I might not stay as long as you, or I might want to stay longer. Who knows? But you can also drive separately to create a lot less stress of what you're dealing with. Even if you were going to your in-laws' house for Christmas, okay? Even if you were going to Christmas and you know that your spouse, because you're going to go to your spouse's family, is probably going to get there and probably going to stay a little bit longer, and you're hemming and hawing, drive separately. Doesn't matter what people think. Doesn't matter any of those things, because you're a better person and you don't bring that energy, right? But you got to be willing to do those things, and you got to know what your shortcomings are. Know the space that you're in and know where you burn out and be done with it, right? Plus, again, you don't realize that just because you have a short social battery, or a social battery that you're like, oh, okay, it's sensory overload and all that stuff. That's amazing to know that, but it's not anybody else's responsibility to coddle that. So again, let's go back to that scenario where you know you're going to go with your friend. Now, if you say to your friend, hey, I'll give you an example. I'll give you a real life example. So my neighbor and friend, Deborah, her fiance has a boat, a really nice boat. I haven't been on the new boat yet. And they won't invite me on the boat because I'm not going to boat like them. Now, I did tell them I want to get on the new boat in the fall. Like, we'll do a fall cruise for like an hour or two. That's about as much boat time as I have in me. I might be able to do 3 hours if it's like a fall day and we have a destination and we're getting some lunch. Fine. But when they boat. Like, they boat. And when you get on another person's boat, you are at the mercy of that captain. When you were in another person's car, you're at the mercy of that person driving. If you're going to someone's house with no exit strategy, you're doing that to yourself. Okay. So I do want to go on the boat because it looks really nice, but I am not a big summer girl. I'm a big fall girl. So I like to go out in October. Let's go out in October. I can put on a little sweatshirt. We can look at the beautiful leaves. We can turn on some music. It's not super hot. Like now, and they know that. So when I go on the boat with them, he's not going to have any other, like he knows this is a 2-hour cruise, 3-hour cruise, whatever it is that we're doing. And he can choose when that time's going to be, not me. I don't get to say, well, I want to go today. Like, no. He knows, and now it's up to him to say, hey, it's a nice day. Do you want to cruise in the evening for a couple hours? Sure. And if he doesn't ask me, that's fine. But my point to that is stop putting yourself in situations and then getting mad at people, right? That'd be like me going on their boat and just being, which is why I would never go. First of all, that would be the worst thing for myself and them. That would be really stressful for our friendship because nobody's going to get out there and then me go, okay, I'm ready to go home. So you're here now, bro. So be okay with doing things different, but know what your limitations are. Don't apologize for them. And it's okay. People will get on board after a while or they won't, right? But it really does help you. So it's okay. Seriously, if you know it might seem weird to you, but it will help your marriage. It'll help your friendships. It will help your life. It gives you a little bit more power and control over when you want to leave. Now, keep in mind, just because you want to leave, you're driving separately, that person can stay as long as they feel like it. So just because you're tired of being at the in-laws and you're ready to go home doesn't mean hubby has to go home. The kids have to go. Nope. Let him stay all night. You've got your freedom. So do that. It doesn't mean that that's how me and Paul roll. If we're going to go to an event, we're going to ride separately, unless we're going to dinner or something like that. But if there's a function or I'm meeting them, I'm riding separately. Because I'm not staying as long as he is. And I know that. But you got to know when that burnout mode is. And when it comes, just make it convenient for you and make it convenient for everybody else. No, people don't have to go home when you want to go home. That's not okay. No, they don't have to leave when you want to leave. They can stay. And so you may want to go, but you may not want to go all day. You might want to go for an hour. That's fine. You may not want to go at all. And that is also fine. But you got to know where you start to get stressed. If you go to a concert, is that going to stress you? Well, then maybe don't go to the concert. Well, everybody else is going. Well, don't go. Do not go there to that concert for fear of missing out. And now you're going to be a nightmare. Your energy is going to be there, whether you say something or not. Your RBF face will just be there. Your energy of not wanting to be there. People read energy. Your energy cannot lie. I don't care with the words that are coming out of your mouth. Your energy will not lie. So you preserve yourself and your relationships of any sort by giving yourself the exit strategy. Now, if in fact you guys are all going somewhere and it's like, for whatever reason, you can only take one car, say, hey, do you know how long you want to be there? Now, they may not know. They might be like, and they may have intentions to stay until 10. And you know her well enough or them well enough to know, yeah, they say 10, but that means 1 o'clock. Then maybe you consider, do I want to go at all? Because don't just go because you don't want to miss out on something. And then you're a misery for them and for you. So know where your social battery, know the things that you need to escape from and do that. Right? Because it also helps you understand that just because you're not having fun doesn't mean everybody else isn't. Doesn't mean that your spouse has to leave their in-laws or a party just because you want to. It doesn't have to be that way. But that also means you got to lower your ego. And you got to really know yourself. So once you know your worth and you know what your limitations are, you're going to stop. What I would love for you to do is to stop doing things and then getting mad about doing things. Right? Well, but you kind of knew that going into it. Yeah, I knew I shouldn't have come. She always stays late. Okay, that's not her. It's not her fault. She's doing her. What are you doing? What are you doing? And that's what you got to ask yourself. Because when you can do that and you can accept that you're okay. Now, keep in mind, flip the role for a moment. Let's say I'm going to stay all day long, and your spouse, you know that your spouse is got a short attention span or a short battery life. Don't force them to stay with you. Do not do that. Just say, hey, do you want to drive separately? So in case you want to go, they don't have to stay at your in-laws as long as you're at your parents. They don't have to do that. They don't have to stay at the barbecue just because you're at the barbecue. They don't have to do that. So give everybody the freedom and the autonomy to be who they are. And then not only do you establish your worth, you're giving your inner child that love, you're also saving so many relationships around you, and you're becoming a lot more solid within yourself.